Great rivalries are built on tradition and history. Great rivalries, obviously, on dynamic players who turn into legends and the lore of the great games from years gone by. When you talk Iron Bowl, you talk about everything that contains, including passion that's unmatched across the country in the state of Alabama. We bring in Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama, who joins me each and every Wednesday night to talk Alabama football, and this is important week, regardless of records or standings or who's playing for a championship and who's left in the second or third tier of the SEC. It all comes down to pride within the state. Got to set this up for us because I lived in the midst of this rivalry and covered it for 6 years, but you've been more fully ingrained in it.
It's basically the in-laws that you cannot stand. When you talk about Alabama and Auburn, it's the one moment at the dinner table where you look across the room and you go, who is that guy? You look across the room and go, I married him. It's kind of that moment when you talk about Alabama and Auburn at the Iron Bowl. Both teams, it's a bitter rivalry. A lot of the crazy things that fans say they do, they absolutely do. And it takes on a whole nother toll recruiting. A lot of these kids, it comes down between Alabama and Auburn. Guys like Deron Payne, who's from Shades Valley High School, came down to that decision for him. We all remember 2013, Reuben Foster, who had the Auburn Tiger tattoo on his left arm. He ends up getting it lasered off and gets it covered with an Alabama tattoo during the day of his recruitment. So it's absolutely crazy when you talk about fans. But it's the players. The players can't stand each other. The coaching staffs can't stand each other. You look at, Nick Saban's going up against two of his former assistants, Kevin Steele, and also Lance Thompson. He and Saban kind of had a falling out during that 2011-2012 year, and that's what led to Lance Thompson's jumping ship from Alabama to Auburn. So it's not just the fans in which that's what the rivalry feasts off of, but the players can't stand each other. The coaching staffs can't stand each other. And it's 60 minutes of who's got the bragging rights in the state of Alabama.
Like I said, I covered the Iron Bowl from 1994 up until 2000, and I could tell a number of stories as you could. We could sit here all night, Stephen, I'm sure, and share stories from the games and the crowds and the atmosphere surrounding the games. The one story that I will share is on a trip in the middle of the summer. So we're talking about June. We're talking about the dead time of college football. I'm driving back from Ohio back to Mississippi. It was about from Tuscaloosa when I was working down there, and barely start to get in some sports radio from the South. I was somewhere in Kentucky or Tennessee. I picked up on a debate that they were having, greatest rivalry in college football, and Alabama and Auburn were all over the place, and people vehemently arguing Alabama, Auburn, and who had the decided edge in the series at that time, and also arguing that series, the Iron Bowl, against the other great rivalries, Ohio State, Michigan, Army, Navy, and the like. And I was thinking, it's June. It's June, people. You should be out golfing or mowing the grass or something, and you're arguing college football. It's pretty intense. No question.
Mark, these people will let their grass be not cut. They will argue over the Iron Bowl more so to who's feeding the kids. That's how intense this Iron Bowl is. It will go from, are we going to church Sunday, to God understands football's on the table. We're going to talk about this. That's how intense rivalry is. It is put before a lot of things, before food, before when's the next haircut coming in, before do I call my boss and come into work. It's the Iron Bowl.